Welcome everyone to Lev Remembers Voice from Ukraine. It's what day is today? The Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is today. It's been every day has been a whirlwind. Going back and forth, watching what's going out there. But it's only Tuesday, and it's been some crazy past 72 hours. I remember sitting down when I wrote my Substack to you guys that the next 24 hours are going to be extremely important. And what we saw play out yesterday was just it was sickening. It was a fiasco. It's not funny. It's really disgusting to watch Trump sit there like a king. Yeah, have all these European leaders coming there, Zelensky grovel at his feet, have him, go make his phone calls, all these pretension. Well, at the end of the day, there's no real peace deal. There's no real negotiations. The bottom line, Putin won't even meet with just think about where we are, folks. I want to stop for a second. I want everybody to think where we are. Oh, everybody's screaming out there that, oh, at least we have diplomacy. During Biden, nobody spoke to Putin. People are speaking. Look, they sat there and spoke all day. Yeah, while they were speaking, folks, Ukraine was getting bombed. Ukraine was getting obliterated. Every day worse and worse. I mean, Alex will give you the rundown, but yesterday over 270 Shahid, over 5 Iskander missiles, cruise missiles. I mean, it's not peace. That's not, I don't know in what world, the European leaders or Trump or anybody, considers that peace. How can you be speaking, negotiating, any kind of pleasantries or, respect while as you're there, as you're trying to negotiate, he can't even stop for 24 hours as a courtesy? As a courtesy. Forget about, okay, Trump changed this whole thing around now. Just remember, on his way to the Alaska Sham Theatrical Theater, he came out and went to the press and back, and he said they asked him a question. They said, "What happens if in this meeting Putin doesn't accept a peace, a ceasefire?" He said there will be severe consequences. There's no severe consequences. There's no consequences. Not only are there no consequences, but now we're not even talking about a ceasefire. We're talking about a peace deal that needs to get structured. And yesterday, supposedly, they were structuring a peace deal. Just think about the conversations they were having. They were talking about American troops on the ground. All day you saw breaking news, the pundits running around. Trump mentioned that, he might do sort of like Article 5 protection, but today he walked everything back. Everything back. No, there's not gonna be no troops. There's not gonna be no article. There's no NATO. So basically, what did they do yesterday besides going to Trump's, what's that souvenir shop at the White House where he was trying to show his 2028 hats? Yeah, funny, but he did that. Dinner, sitting there, having them all, praise him and tell him how great he is that he's having these conversations. Stop. I mean, the theatrics of stopping the conversation and then going running to Putin because he has to. But he was lost. He didn't know what to do. He needed to go go speak to Putin and find out how to proceed, how to continue the stall. And what did they come up with? Beautiful. Now they have to have a bilateral or trilateral some sort of meeting. And the meeting has to take place now between Vladimir Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. And as coincidentally should have it, 2 week Donnie, as I call him, said that this is going to take place in 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks again, it's like, for those of you that are old enough and have seen the movie Groundhog's Day, if you haven't, if for all you youngsters out there, I ask you, please go take a look at this movie, Groundhog Day. Funny movie. It's basically you wake up every day and it's the same day. With Donald Trump, it feels like the same thing every day. It's basically, he comes out there, he tells you, the media is running, he's hard on Russia, this is going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the day, when the smoke cleared, where are we? Zelensky, the Europeans flew back. Donald Trump is here in the United States. Putin is there. And what's the first thing that I get a phone call today? And I broke the news before. CNN right now, they're talking about it, MSNBC. But if you take a look at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning, I broke it, where literally Putin was overheard in his inner circle laughing at how the Western, Trump and the EU bought that he was even consider having a meeting with Zelensky. I want you to understand, folks, Vladimir Putin does not consider Zelensky a legitimate president. This is one of the things that Vladimir Putin, and I'll let Alex speak to that in a second, why they're having this war. He's put assassination hits on Vladimir Zelensky. Or every one of his administration talks about a regime change, and this is what it's about. If you read my letter today that I put out early, if you haven't yet, make sure you go read it, because this is what was talked about that the media is not reporting. My sources are telling me that in that first hour, the conversation was about pushing Putin's propaganda of telling Zelensky that once there's a peace deal, that part of the conditions is Zelensky would have to promise that he would have a fair election. But a fair election in Donald Trump's eyes and Vladimir Putin's eyes is a way to put in a pro-Russian, pro-Trump president government. So this way, the rest of the deal, the rest of the land would just be signed over and given over. That's what the real plan is right now. And you saw some of the reporters actually ask that question yesterday when they ask Zelensky. They said, "Are you willing to do?" And it wasn't even a reporter. This was Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. He's a setup reporter. He sets up the questions where he tried to set up Zelensky because that was part of the plan. Where he said to him, and you guys could go look back and look at the recording, or I'll put it out there, where he said to him, he asked him a question. He said, are you going to plan on holding elections? And Zelensky turned around and said, yes, once the war is over, once there's peace, absolutely we'll have the Zelensky. And the interesting part, and I put that in my Substack yesterday, if you saw, Donald Trump jumped on it. And Donald Trump said, oh, interesting. So what you're saying, he said, that if in 3.5 years, if we're having a war in the United States, we would have no elections. And everybody laughed. And Zelensky said, yeah, boy, wouldn't you like that? That reminded me of the conversation when we had with me, Donald Trump, and some people when we had our private dinner, and I told him that he needs to get rid of Maria Yovanovitch, the ambassador, and he turned around and he said, get rid of her now. And I remember all of us looking around the table. We were so confused. We didn't understand what happened. We started clapping. We literally started clapping, congratulating that we did. So this is what you saw happening yesterday. I mean, it was theatrics at its finest. Constant praises to Donald Trump. Only you could get these conversations going. And what happens literally on the next day? The next day, today, from the morning until now, all morning, Russia has been denying. Not only have I broken the news that Putin is not meeting with Zelensky, but Russia, what's it called, spokespeople and media are reporting it over that they don't know what Trump is talking about. So this is the insane part. But while he was doing that, folks, Ukraine was burning. Missiles were being guided. They went last night. They went through some of the worst attacks since the beginning of this war, and this is supposed to be a time where they're talking about peace. So this is where we are, and at the same time, just to make matters worse, at the same time, while he was doing this, back here at home, we still have National Guard troops, in Washington, D.C. My sources tell me that he's planning on deploying them very soon into other states like Chicago and New York. Yesterday, after speaking with Putin, he basically initiated and is having his people put together an executive order he wants to sign to do away with mail and voting. something that he has no power to do, but he's trying to do it. And today he doubled down. He said that if I can't do it with the pen, that Congress will help me do it. Because what he's trying to do is take away our rights here, just like what he's allowing Putin to do to the Ukrainian. It's the same playbook. It's the same situation, mirror image going back and forth. And today, just like Putin took back everything, Trump took back everything. Trump basically all morning he's been posting truth socialing that from no NATO to no troops on the ground to no Article 5 protection, that Zelensky takes two to tango again, that Zelensky has to give up land, in right back where we started from. So all of these past 2 weeks have been all a distraction. But meanwhile, also the one thing I know the media is zero news about is Bill Barr. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to read my letter I wrote to you yesterday, but Bill Barr has a bit testified in that circus of a House Oversight Committee run by James Comer, who I know very well, and they came out and said, out of the whole thing, the one had the headline out of, because it was done behind closed doors, it was done privately, and the headlines from there was that Bill Barr said that Donald Trump had was not nowhere in the Epstein files. Are you kidding me? This is the the scrubbing that's going on behind, because this is all of these distractions for Donald Trump. It's not about Ukraine. He does not care about Ukraine, does not care about the people, does not care about what's going on. He cares about scrubbing this. He cares about getting her, because not this Epstein thing, because it's exploding and there's things happening that the media is not talking about. I wrote about yesterday. I'm just making sure that I'm giving you points that you need to mark off that are very important. Dan Bongino. Yesterday, they all of a sudden took in Andrew, I forgot his O'Neill or O'Donnell from Missouri, the Attorney General from Missouri. Now he's co-FBI Assistant Director. Co? Really? Why? Because we know why. Because my sources told me till this, and I confirmed it again, that there's a rift. Bongino is not on board with this whole Epstein cover-up. So there's now so things happening in the background to be able to silence him one way or another, either by financially promising, by scaring him. But either way, Bongino's on his way out. That's why they're already setting up laying down the groundwork for it. It's just a matter of time. I told you it was going to happen to, remember what's his name, the National Security Advisor Waltz. Just a matter of time. It's the same thing with Bongino. He's not on board. They're not going to release the Epstein files. They're setting up right now for the big theatrical release of Maxwell when she comes out and testifies in front of Congress and gives a story that we are not ready for, and I truly and honestly do not want to hear, because it's going to be trying to be a theatrical part, just like what we've seen play out here in Alaska and yesterday in the Oval, while the victims, the people in Ukraine, the poor children. Just think about how they spoke about the kids. They have Melania write a letter about the kids. He talks about, how come that's not a precondition? How come that can't be an easy one that we all could agree on, that everyone in that room and Donald Trump can't turn around and say, okay, how come, how come everybody can't push him, say, Donald Trump, why don't you call Vladimir Putin right now and say, as a good faith, as a as anything right now, give back the kids. Just like you do prisoner. They're gonna do prisoner exchanges. They do them all the time. They're probably gonna do another prisoner exchange too. Why not give back the kids? I'm just giving you pointers that if they really want to do something good, if they were really leaning on doing something good, you would see positive signs. I'm opening up your eyes, because the media, the way they're painting it out to be, the way they're making it seem is like Donald Trump, he's, out there negotiating, making these things happen. But at the end of the day, people are getting hurt. And that's why, folks, I just want to say to you, today is not a happy day for me, watching yesterday play out, watching today all of the people that got hurt, that because of their theatrics, watching our losing our rights to these theatrics. I want to hear from the victims also. And that's why at our platform, guys, because of your support, because of your, what's it called, because your megaphones, we're going to make sure that we make our voices be heard, and that we will have to speak for the victims. We will speak for the kids, and we will speak for the victims. That's part of what Love Remembers is all about here. That's what we do. That's what I've done for the past 5 years, speak truth to power. And now with my community, my family, each and every one of you, you're my extension of my voice. That now you're that megaphone that I've been waiting for, that we are going to be able to do something right. And I promise you, there's some big news coming, some good news. I'm working on some things behind the scenes, not only like, Alex, God bless you, Alex, for the things, Alex. I mean, Alex, just think about it. Alex right now, while his own family is getting hit, and every day hiding from these missiles, he's planning right now, with your help. With your help, with each and every one of you who've donated and helped to the GoFundMe, with your help, to go to right into the fire zone. It's like, how they have those hurricane hunters. We look at them, those brave. They go right into the eye of the hurricane to be able to let us know where. That's what Alex is doing right now. He's going into the eye of the hurricane, right into where the fighting is, to deliver that needed aid that they want, because that's the life he's living. This is thanks to the people like Trump and Vladimir Putin. But God bless each and every one. And while we're on that subject, I'm going to post it right here. I just did it for those of you that have been asking about it. That's the GoFundMe. If you haven't yet contributed, please contribute whatever you can. If you have contributed, God bless you. I mean, thank you for all you've done. For those of you, if you guys can you spread the GoFundMe around in the page, so this way, for those that haven't been able to get it, Alex, if you could put it up there also. We're almost there. Alex will give us an update where we are. I know some of the stuff has already started heading that way. So anyway, enough of me babbling. Alex, tell us how you feel. What's happening, my brother?
Hello, everybody. This is like a nervous laugh because I can't come up with anything else. Not enough to cry over, but it's asking for. But nevertheless, I want to thank everybody for your support, for being here for us, for supporting us, for helping the people that we are trying to support. And we already started. I mean, the donations they already came in. We already ordered and sent some of the first batch to Pokrovsk, which is the hardest area because you can't even get in there; it's closed off. But we already sent the first batch over there, and can't wait to get results. And in Dnipropetrovsk, and people are still grateful from Kharkiv. And I got a call today. They're asking, what do we do to get at least a couple of boxes more because they go so fast. I say, all you gotta do is stay strong, believe, and help will come. I said, just believe. That's all it takes. So I want to thank everybody for everything you do. It's priceless. It is priceless. But to get to cover up what's going on, uh, well, you and I have different views. I'm a believer, and sometimes I put the shutters on to not to see something, to believe in something. But this one, our visions are they they go the same way because you and I have been talking for quite some time about. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I sneeze a little bit, so apologize.
Sure. Thanks.
Anyway, you and I have been talking about for several months that the Russians have a big problem, that the economy goes to shit, the planes are about to start dropping, there is food shortage, the gas prices go up, they don't know what to do. And nevertheless, they understand they can only fight because if they stop, everything will crumble on them. So they've been thinking for quite some time to come up with a plan how to stop it, and they the plan. And me and Lev showed you right few minutes before the summit started in Alaska. We showed you the video. We showed you the Russian video. So Russian came up with a plan that the only way to continue mobilization and continue people not to get up and start asking questions is to show them a new hope. And new hope was to allow Putin in America, to allow him an aggress. But again, that's a very big ask because number one, you're showing the world that what's going on, that he's back in the thing. While just 6 months ago, he couldn't even pick up his head without somebody throwing apple or rotten tomatoes at him. Now he's on the world stage, and the second of all, to show people in Russia that Russia's winning. That's what they needed, but they had to offer something. And of course, as I was saying, the biggest problem was I don't get involved in American politics as much, but this one's all connected. That Epstein files, but the most of all that they had to give him an icing on the cake, and that's why the Ritko flew, and the idea was, you know what, we're gonna help you. We make all the eyes to look in this hand, and they gave him the ballots. They gave him the ballots because when you can use that, and this for the past months or maybe more. That's what it was all about. That's why they call Zelensky, and so on the press conference he can announce it. So because the question was asked, so it's so obvious, and well, everything got to do. Europeans came in because yesterday when I saw their greetings, Trump gave more compliments than Doc buckle his ears. I mean, he gave compliments to everybody, even on the 10. So are you kidding me? That means you are making up for seriousness.
Did you see how he treated Zelensky yesterday? I thought he was gonna hug him. I thought he was gonna literally pick him up and like literally like he didn't know how to hug him and grab him and like and put him over here and make him. Yeah, I mean it was really some real serious theatrics on display, while all along knowing that there's no way there's going to be anything happening.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, when the dog knows he did something wrong, his tail is between his legs, and he licks you and he kisses you and everything else. That it was that's what was yesterday, and when he had nothing else to talk about, he ran to the phone to call Putin right in the middle of everything. He took a little time off.
And I want to stop right there for a second because this is very important. I want to give you give you the strategy that was played out, because there are sources that were close to or maybe even in the room. I don't want to talk about it, so it doesn't give them an opportunity to think who these people might be. But just so you understand that Trump, what he got stuck. There was a moment that they were putting pressure on with Trump about setting up a meeting, and because he didn't want the ceasefire, that the only way they could divide the only two people they could talk about any land swap or division had to be Zelensky and Putin. So this is why Trump stopped the conversation where they were and went to call Putin, because Trump didn't know what to say. He didn't know how to proceed. And when he came back from the conversation, this is to show you how Putin is playing this and how Trump is part of this. But he came back and came up with the big idea that was been the breaking news all last night, which was that Trump came back and said that he's going to get a meeting done between Zelensky and Putin. And he got Zelensky so sold and excited, and the Europeans, they couldn't believe, because they knew Trump went to speak to Putin. He came back and he basically told them that Putin said he's okay with doing a meeting with you. Now Zelensky understands that this is almost an impossibility. So if Putin were to agree to do a meeting, this would be a major step forward into some sort of negotiations. But then today, first thing in the morning, that was all debunked. Not only did I break the news, but then Trump himself turned around and said it. And then Putin came out and said, and now all of a sudden, there is no meeting. There's no even a starting point of a meeting taking place between Zelensky. But in the meantime, just for you to understand how sick this is, and how Trump doesn't mention this, there are Russian tanks going down, attacking Ukrainian cities with dual flags now. Russian flag and an American flag. I've posted it on my Substack for you guys. If you haven't seen it, you need to go take a look at it. That was yesterday. I think I posted it on the Substack there. We're dual flags. I mean, with an American flag and a Russian flag, and they're attacking Ukrainian cities. So what I said to you when I wrote that letter, and I say to you, don't listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing and listen to what they're not saying. Think about that very carefully. I'm very serious with you. I'm giving you some very important advice that, some very powerful people taught me at a very young age and that has been enabled me to get through some of the stuff that I've gone through and been around some of the most powerful people in the world. Don't listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing and listen to what they're not saying, because that's what's really going on. Because what they're telling you and what they're painting you, if you would listen to what they're saying for the past 2 weeks, it's been all optimism. It was all peace deals. It was all. But what they were doing in the meantime, they were bombing Ukraine every single day, worse and worse. They were continuously killing people. Trump was bringing a National Guard onto the streets of Washington, D.C. So that's what they were doing. And what they weren't telling you is that the deals that were already made between Witkoff and Putin and Kirill Dmitriev, how they've already divided and conquered and put together the next plan. Because what is the next plan? I told you about it today. So you know what is happening right now, because the plan right now is to be able to freeze this war in some way. And this is the peace deal that they're trying to put together. So this way, if they could start holding elections in Ukraine, as Trump says, fair as square elections, but it's all in the purpose of this is the longer game to put into, because this is, if you go back to, for those of you that don't know, this is how it all started back in 2014. That was when the original war started, not in 2022. In 2014, there was a pro-Russian president in Ukraine. That was Paul Manafort, got him in there. Paul Manafort, who was working with the Russians, got Yanukovych into presidency. And he was promising the Ukrainian people that he was moving to the West. He was going to sign with the EU. He was taking Ukraine closer to the West. But in reality, it was a takeover that was being taken over by Putin, and where they were going to sign the deal. And what saved them is that fateful day where all of a sudden the Ukrainian people got up. That's what they called the Maidan. When they rose and went after and said, no, we're not going to take it. We're not going under Vladimir Putin control again. And Yanukovych had to flee for his life, leaving everything behind, except for stealing every single dollar, every single penny that Ukraine, the government, the country had, they took. That's what it was in 2004. So that was the plan all along for Putin. He didn't want to go in there, army, and take over Ukraine, because there's a lot of things in Ukraine he wants. He wants certain things like Kiev. For him, Kiev is a historical place he believes is Russian. There's oil, mineral, gas. There's a lot of stuff that is a very, very powerful, a very positive for Russia that they don't want to do. So that is the next. And that was what was talked about, as I told you. For those of you that are coming in late, that have missed in the beginning, I'm gonna send this, publish it out in like an Alex will in like 30 minutes, so you guys could watch it from the beginning. We have a little bit over 1,100, 1,200 people here right now. I just wanted to say this to you because there's a lot of things happening today. We're going to be going live later on again because I'm expecting some other breaking news right now that I want to bring to you guys. Me and Alexander came on right now because we wanted to make sure to bring you up to speed exactly what was happening, because I know a lot of the media is still talking about how, yesterday there were great meetings, everything was going on. But in reality, the truth is Ukraine's getting bombarded. Putin's not meeting with Zelenskyy. Trump is continuing his authoritarian reign onto the United States. But I want to tell you this one, and I'm going to leave you off for this right now until we speak later with this. That there's a lot of hope. First of all, I have hope watching my cousin Alex, watching him sit there while there's rockets being, missiled all over the place at his family, where he is out there and he's fighting and he's going out there, not only protecting himself and his family, but also going out there and helping out with all of your help. So that's hope. And for all of you that have already contributed to the GoFundMe, again, God bless you and thank you. For those of you who haven't, and not on behalf of me, not on behalf of Alex, but on behalf of all those kids, all those soldiers, all those. I mean, Alex is now delivering these sanitary wipes to hospitals. Hospitals where patients where they're not able to wash patients. So this, and they're already flowing. Already, your donations that have come in, Alex, has already shipments have gone out. Alex is going to be going there now. That's hope. That's hope, during all of this. And I'll tell you the other hope, which I can't mention now, but for with you guys, I just want to share. I'm working on some very big stuff behind the scenes with some very important people like yourselves, people that want to save our democracy, people that have the same vision and want to stop Donald Trump and all of this, and people together that if we join forces and are able to do what I have in my mind and what I'm laying out, we will save our democracy. And I promise you, nobody knows Donald Trump better than me, and we will stop him, and we will stop not only him, but his enablers that are allowing him to do it. I can't give you the information yet, but please subscribe. Please set your notifications, alarms, because when I'm able to tell you the news, you're the first ones I'm going to share it with, and it's going to be some big news, and it's going to be some really good news, and hopefully it's going to be coming very, very soon. So, for until later today, I want to leave you off with a so with all the bad stuff going on, we have some good stuff. I'm going to share this. I just shared the GoFundMe again for Alex. Guys, please send it far and wide. We almost got it all completely done. We need a little bit more of a push there. Let's get him closed up. Let's get the people the aid that they need and get that as quick as possible. And that's I shared it there. And for all as far as our mission overall, you know what it is. You're our megaphone. You are an extension of our voice. And what I need you to do is go out there and spread this message. Take this video, take this and spread it to as many people as you can. So this way we could build our movement bigger, stronger, louder than ever. Because, speaking truth to power doesn't come easy. But with together, we will succeed and we will win. God bless every single one of you. God bless America and Slava Ukraini. Alex, final word. Go ahead, brother. Take us home.
All right. Couple of things. Number one is Russians don't do nothing without a plan. They always have a. They knew he was going to get grilled yesterday, and the exit strategy was the phone call and the peace, just so the Europe can live. Once everybody left, it's like Lev. You know how in business, some people when you speak to them on the phone, you can never get them to agree to anything. But when you meet them in person, they sign every single paper. So that's what it was yesterday. Not only that, not only that, but Russians started winter campaign. As Lev Parnas and the Substack and I reposted it that yesterday in Kremenchuk, they hit the gas storage and the pipelines. That's already a winter campaign. That's it. They're already switching to winter campaign because they already know the gas, the shortage of gas, there's no heat, no this, no this. And the reason I'm so not broken up, but more upset than usual today, because first thing I heard this morning is my daughter told me, "Daddy, did you see? Two presidents are gonna meet. We might get a peace." When she told me that, I don't know whether to cry or blow up or explode, because this is the theatric is working, because people want a good so much that they want a good outcome, and if there is when they're saying when you're drowning, you'll grab to even a little piece of steak that can never hold you, because people reach out because people are so tired of this war. At night, my daughter comes up to me and says, "Daddy, we should get maybe you should get the mattress ready because I see that there are planes coming up on the other side." And this is and like I have at least some I can explain to my children, but there are people that have no idea what's going on. They believe everything they hear. So that's why this is so important. What this information needs to be shared because the people are in the dark. They actually believe that the woody woodpecker flies away into the sunset. It's not true because as they showing us one thing, totally different thing is going on, and the world is changing, and the only way we can be I don't know if we can stop it, but the only way we can be part of it is we need to wake up and stand up. So otherwise, we're gonna get counted out. Because if you're not on the table, you're a menu. So right now, people are the menu for everybody, and the only way we cannot be a menu is we need to speak up. We need to get up, and we need to fight what we believe in. And Lev, I want to thank you for everything you do. I want to thank you for all the messages you
Yeah.
use. I
Thank
want
you, Alex.
people for helping Lev and me and everybody on these platforms to do this. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. Slava Ukraini.
God bless you, Alex. Geroyim Slava. Take care, guys. I'll be back. We'll be back live today. Stay tuned. Get your alarms on. Hopefully, have a good day. And hopefully, we have some good news to share with you soon. But it's important for you to know what's going on. So to stay alert and stay vigilant. Take care.